New product development shouldn't be this hard. Have you ever thought that in the midst of a project? It seems like up front you have that planning and you see the possibilities and potential, and yet in the midst of the project, all these things happen. What are the things that make it hard? Um, Sometimes it's a technology thing. If we're putting in new technology, whether it's mechanical, electrical, or software related, sometimes those new technologies have some issues with them, particularly as they integrate into other areas. Um, if you understand the higher technology risks and start testing them early, there's a chance of doing enough loops to figure those out versus having kind of false optimism. The technology sounds good, we should be okay, and just kind of diminishing that risk. So I think that'll help because that hard part of technology issues to kind of move that upstream. It'll still be hard, but it'll be spread out instead of compressed closer to the design validation time. Sometimes there's team issues. Sometimes just the team dynamics, people not getting along, people not understanding each other, maybe their goals aren't aligned. Those team dynamics can sometimes make it harder than it should be. Kind of why can't everyone just get along? Um, I think part of that is just making sure as a leader of a team that it's not always you making decisions. Because as projects move on, more and more level of detail, it needs to be addressed simultaneously. And you can't be in every single one of those. So early on in the project, when they're working on the higher risk things, make sure the team is making decisions and working things out, working their issues, building trust, uh, developing communication protocols versus running to someone else to get an answer that they don't have to deal with as a team. Those team dynamics got to get worked out early versus everyone just scattering, doing their own thing for a while, and then coming together later as a team, again, during design validation or that kind of phase, when the issues are hitting the fan and they need to have that teamwork worked out at that point. Sometimes the other thing that makes our new product development effort hard or harder than it should be is a complex process. There can be all these different checklists and procedures and all this narrative and written down of what you're supposed to do. And some of it's obviously good ideas, but every project's a little bit different. Um, and if the team understands why they're doing those steps and the complexity of the process is really just boiled down to the essential items, I think that really is going to help a team execute and not be tied up in bureaucratic cycles, but instead focusing on the technology and the team issues. And the process should be pretty much what you would do naturally, not something convoluted, something that's nonsensical. This is not intuitive to any individual on the team. At least with some minor training, they can understand what the intent is. I think these three things make a project harder than they have to be, but I don't think it has to be that hard. I've said that myself as a project manager, as a design engineer, and try to address these things as part of my leadership, and it's really helped. I've obviously done that with my consulting clients as well, as much as I can guide them in that way to make their new products easier. If you want it to be easier than before, easier than other projects you've seen, give us a call at Perry Solutions. We'll help you in the early stages. We'll help you in the meat of the project. Wherever you have needs, we'll help you as needed to make that as smooth as reasonable for a new product.